UndergroundVideoNetwork.com presents the We Talk Too Much podcast.
This is where the fun begins.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, gaming, and everything nerdy.
That's it. This is just too weird.
Now, here's your host of the We Talk Too Much podcast, Mike and Richard.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. I am Michael Boroff.
I'm Richard John.
And Rich, we have a special guest in the Canadian State Studio. We got a special guest in the on my phone right now. I recognize this gentleman.
Hey, how we all doing tonight?
Great. For those watching and listening, we are joined by our really good friend Rodney Fyke. Rodney, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Very well. Thank you.
It's good to see you again.
Likewise, good to see you guys.
Yeah, I got the chance to see you here recently at a Cincinnati Comic Expo.
Yes. Yeah.
That was my first con since everything's gone down. And how did that go down for you?
It was a good show. It was our, I guess, fifth show since post pandy.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. You know, we did fine. And it's just kind of getting back on the horse and getting back out there and doing it. Yeah. We had a good time. Sales were pretty good. So yeah, we enjoyed it.
I got to go on a Sunday, which was unique for me. Really good crowd for a Sunday.
Yeah.
I was really pleasantly surprised. It really did feel like a Saturday. There were so many people there.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, Friday was a really slow day. But yeah, I think I remember Sunday being. There were busy periods on Saturday, but it seemed like Sunday was consistently busy all day.
Yeah,
until about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember because it kind of not ghost town. There were still quite a few people there, but it definitely was a drop in attendance after, like you said, around 3 o'clock.
Yeah, there was John Burrowman and somebody else was signing or speaking or something. And when that happened, everybody just moved over to the arena.
Was it Felicia Day?
She was one of them. There was another male actor, but I can't remember who it was. But it's because they kept announcing that he has told us that he is going to stay and until everybody in line is being taken care of. He's going to sign, blah blah blah. They made that announcement a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember who it was.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Okay.
I think it was Tom Cavanaugh from The Flash and Ed and I'm almost certain it was Tom Cavanaugh.
Yeah, but that was cool. By that time, the weekend was pretty much over, and for us anyway, it had ran its course. So
yeah,
we were winding down at that point.
Yeah, it'd been probably a long weekend for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because that was the last of 3 weekends in a row. Three shows, 3 weeks in a row. So we were ready to be done.
Yeah. Go through that drought of pandemic and then just like right back into it and just hitting it hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to be over with.
Yeah.
Well, you just launched the Kickstarter just recently, didn't you?
Yeah, on the 20th of October we did. And the Kickstarter for Roadkill Rampage issue 2. And we funded in the first 24 hours, which we were very excited about, very thankful for. So thank you, everybody, for
that is awesome. Within the first 24 hours.
Yeah. Right at just about 24 hours, too. We nailed it. So we was pretty happy, pretty excited about that. And we've been climbing steadily ever since, adding all kind of goodies and stuff to the campaign. So yeah, it's it's been fun, but like every Kickstarter, it's fun and frustrating. Fun and frustrating.
Oh, believe me, I'm very well aware of the sweet goodies you guys offer with your Kickstarter.
Looks like a nice Roadkill Rampage coaster there.
Yeah, I take you out to my car to show you the Roadkill Rampage air. There it is. My Roadkill Rampage air freshener, but it's kind of sprinkling outside, so you have to take my word for it.
I believe you. I believe you.
But it was such a good read. I have really recommended that one to a lot of my horror movie fan friends. That
Thank
it
you.
was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting really good feedback on it. I was talking to somebody. I did a podcast the other night, and he read it, and he said he was really happy with the pacing and the dialogue and just the overall feel of it. And that made me feel really good, because I am very conscious about the pacing when I'm doing the book, because I want it in my mind. I have a boom, 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 boom. I have to hit all these marks, and to have somebody tell me that the pacing was really good, I was like, yes.
And see, that's one of those things that to people like me, like a non-comic book creator, that we take for granted. We don't really think about, when we read a book, we don't really, it's almost like subconscious.
Yeah.
It's like when the pacing's bad, we know there's something off.
Yeah. If it's off, you know it. But
Yeah.
if you don't notice it, then the writer's done a good job.
Right.
So, and the other thing he said too, I was trying to think of the other thing he said, was that he said he felt like he was watching a movie.
Yeah.
Which made me feel great, because in my mind it's so vivid that I'm literally just dictating on paper what's being told to me in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, I just got done. I think it was Thursday with the script for issue 3. Got it done and sent it off to the editor for one final go through. Because I went and I added 2 more pages. So, and in doing so, I went and I basically rewrote 3 of the last 4 scenes of the book, because I wasn't happy with it. So it gave me an opportunity to go back and move things. Some of the pages had too many panels on them. So there's 2 extra pages. I was able to break that up a little bit and add a scene and take a scene out and completely change 3 scenes. And I really liked it. So that made me happy. And then I was able to just get done with that. And then it just kept talking to me. So I was able to jump into working on the script for issue 4. Well, working on notes. Haven't actually officially started writing the script for issue 4. But my plan was to get 3 done and then hop over to start working on issue 3 of Pitter Patter. But I was in the Roadkill Rampage mindset, and it kept talking to me. So I just kept writing. So I've got a whole page of notes for issue 4.
Wow.
I can only imagine what would have happened. So I'm a fan of Pitter Patter too, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but it is a very different genre than Roadkill Rampage. And I could only imagine what would happen if some of that Roadkill Rampage mindset had flowed over into Pitter Patter, because there is a commonality with the animals,
Well, wait till issue 3.
Oh God.
We got Josh watching. He says all the sexy in one place.
That's right, baby.
He must have his browser on a different tab right now, because this is.
He's got a really good filter on, doesn't he?
Yeah. But no, I could just imagine, something happens to dude, but he goes on, out for revenge. And well, let's start first by for anybody watching or listening that's not familiar with Roadkill Rampage, could you give a no spoiler free, but a little synopsis about the book?
About the book in general, or about issue 2 specifically?
No, the first issue, for anybody that's not picked it up yet.
Okay. All right. So Roadkill Rampage is the story of two young lovers with nothing better to do.
I got that one.
They decide that they're going to go for a drive out in the country on a nice sunny day. So they get out. they get out into the forest and they're driving, and all of a sudden, Ace, the lead male character, decides that he's going to start running over all the animals on the road. And Tess, the lead female character, is horrified by this and does whatever she tries to stop him. And when she can't stop him, things go sideways and just escalate way beyond her control. And when that happens, the animals come back to exact their revenge. And that is the premise for issue 1 of Roadkill Rampage.
And it definitely delivered. And it did. I really like how it didn't feel. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't feel hokey. Like, like the idea of like an animal, going exacting revenge could have been done very campy.
Yeah.
This was not. This was, I'm like you said with the pacing, as I'm reading it, I'm not envisioning like an over anthropomorphized animal, and being silly or ridiculous. I'm seeing a real animal.
Well, it's so funny about
going out
that pivotal scene where everything comes to a climax, if you will. The raccoon reaching over and unlocking the door.
Mm-hmm.
I actually dreamt that.
Oh my God.
And it was very vivid, and it's supposed to happen on both sides of the car, but it kind of got lost in translation when Amon was doing it. It was supposed to happen on both sides of the car, and but yeah, I was thinking about that scene one night, and I fell asleep thinking about that, and that's what I dreamt. And so when I got up, I finished writing that scene, and it was just like, wow, okay, cool. But yeah, the whole little unlocking the.
And even that I thought was brilliant because you chose the right animal. Because,
the opposable thumbs.
Yeah. I mean, even within the confines of a horror movie setting, it still made sense. It wasn't like Thumper, with the bunny with the paw, was like, did this. No. He went for the critter with the no, it still made sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it through.
Oh. Now, when you said you just mentioned that you're got the Kickstarter for the second one, and you've planned the third, and are already working on the notes for the fourth. When you were envisioning the first Roadkill Rampage, did you have an idea already a few issues in, or was it more, I really need to get this first issue on pen and paper, and then I will go from there?
No, the funny thing is when the idea came to me, it was just supposed to be a one-shot. But as we got deeper into the issue, the character started talking to me more. And I always say the character started talking to me because that's literally what happens. They talk to me in my head, and I listen to what they say because they're not talking to me if it's not worth my time. It's the way that I look. So I listen to what they say, and I watch the scenes unfold to me. If I like them, I know there's validity in it, so I put effort towards it. So Tess kept talking to me, and Ace kept talking to me, and I was like, okay, well, let's continue this on. So we did that, and we decided that we were going to make it a 4-issue series. We kind of planned out what that 4-issue series was going to be. Pandemic hit, and a lot of stuff got put on pause. We hopped online and became more present online with the Thursday night thread on Friday night draw. So there was a little delay there, which allowed my mind to percolate more on what the initial arc that we had come up with. And as more time went by, I was beginning to gravitate further and further away from that original outline for the 4 issues. So it's kind of rewritten itself. And it's interesting because if the Pandy wouldn't have happened, we would have went with that initial, not that there was anything wrong with it. It's just that it went, in my mind, it took a different path. It veered left at the 4th. So yeah, one of the, you just never know. Things happen for a reason. So.
And I've known you long enough. I can just imagine, like, especially when you're doing the your online sketching and everything. Have you had a moment yet where like you're doing something unrelated to Roadkill Rampage? And I can see you doing this. It's something like a different property, something cutesy, but then that inspiration hits. Like
all the time.
Oh
Yeah, all the time. Actually, the funny part is, when I got done with the script for issue 3, I got done, sent it off to the editor, then I went to the gym. And I worked out, and I came home, and I hopped in the shower. And in the shower, I was practicing my pitch, my elevator pitch for issue 2. And I got out of the shower, and I was drying off. Well, as I was drying off, I stopped the elevator pitch because the story started talking to me for issue 4. And I'm like, oh man, I don't have any pencil or paper. Everything's downstairs in the studio. I grabbed my phone and I pull up notes and I start typing in. I was like, oh man, I can't forget this. And so I went downstairs and I forgot what had come to me because I didn't get a chance to write it all down because I was tripping over the cat. And so a couple hours went by and then I was like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? So I pulled up the script for issue 3 to see if it would jog my memory, and it did. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just started tapping away and had like 4 paragraphs of stuff immediately for notes. So it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I get stuff coming to me all the time, no matter what I'm doing.
And that would have been difficult. It's like, okay, because everybody always says that, like when you know that you've forgotten something and you're trying to remember it, they always tell you, retrace your steps. I'm like, oh, I guess I got to get back in the shower. All right.
I didn't get that.
I got it again. No.
There we go. So
Need
yeah,
one of them waterproof white dry erase boards for the shower, so that way, just in case anything pops up.
Yeah, or a secretary
Yeah.
sitting on a toilet with the lid closed, taking notes while I dictate.
Write this down.
I don't think producer B would approve that.
Yeah, yeah. I think anyone would have a really hard time finding an intern that would do that for you.
It's true.
So let me ask you, with no spoilers, but the future issues of Roadkill Rampage, you did mention it's going to be a continuation of the story and not so much like an anthology where it's going to be different stories per issue.
No, it's going to be a continuation. It's a 4-issue limited series. And I've had a couple people ask, well, what if it takes 5 issues? Will you go to 5? And obviously the answer to that is yes. Whatever it takes to get the story told, even if I have to go add an extra 8 pages to issue 4, whatever it takes, I want to get the story done.
Right.
And then be done with that and move on to other things. And if something else comes to me or it continues to talk to me, then we'll address it at that time. So far, the feedback has been very positive. The people that have read issue 2 like it. So, well, that have read what we have, because it's at the letterers right now. So we have the first 9 pages lettered. So yeah, the book's done, by the way, except for the letter.
Oh, cool.
There's no worry about that. But yeah, it tentatively it is slated for 4 issues, and I'm going to do my utmost to make sure it stays at 4 issues because I have something else that I really want to start working on. So I want to be able to move on to that.
Are you one of those people where even if you have an idea for something else, you've got to get what you're working on right now done and out before you can start and move on to something new?
I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily that type of person.
Producer B is.
But producer B is, and I'm not allowed to start another project until I get this project done.
We would never get anything done, guys.
Yeah, right, we would never get anything done. There are too many things out of our control that.
Particularly say Rodney's voice is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of those few times where being a cosplayer and a comic book creator's mentality merges. No, 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 no. Don't start nothing. You're not done with this yet.
Yeah.
You're not done. Oh, but I've already bought the fabric. No, 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 no. Finish what you start. And at least you have somebody that can keep you on track. You know, people like me, it's just like, okay, I still need to get this done and this made. Ooh, wait a minute. That phone would be perfect for, and now,
Yeah. So she keeps me in my lane for sure. That's
Mhm.
definitely for sure. Keeps me focused.
I can just imagine the little producer A and producer B on your shoulders. Hey, you know what? I got a great idea for nope. Dude, nope. Nope.
You have this finished yet? Then no.
Oh.
So I was thinking, you were saying you got the book done. So how does it feel like when a creator has the book ready, then you go to Kickstarter? I mean, that must be reassuring to your audience to be able to say, yes, we have this done. I can show you some samples. Here's it, because I know sometimes people kind of has an idea, throws it on Kickstarter, and then tries to get the story done.
Yeah, we don't like that approach. It is very comforting to know that it's done.
Yeah.
And I think that is what helped us, because issue 1 funded in 44 hours. We were done with it, except for the lettering and the post productions, the graphics and stuff like that. And the same thing with issue 2. It's done. It's at the letterers. He's lettering it. Of the graphics and everything are already done. So when you come to the party with the package already complete, and you're just wrapping that in the gift wrap, people are like, okay, well, it's already done. And I know it's done. Issue 2 was done. Issue 1 was done when they said it was done. So it's that consistency of, saying it's done, showing that it's done, people understanding that you're telling the truth, and trusting you. And I think that's why issue 2 funded quicker than issue 1 did. So, yeah. I just think it's overall more appealing to the purchaser when they know they're not going to have to wait 6 months for the book after they pay for it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. When I know for sure that the creator has got a product that's, like you said, is wrapping up, is ready to go. I understand about finding a letter. I've been in that situation, so it's it's one of them things.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we have the letterer. It's just his schedule. We were put in the queue. So. Yeah, the letterer is actually Dave Lentz, and he basically is the letterer for Source Point Press. He does all of their books.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of their books, not all of them, I should say.
Yeah.
But I agree with Richard, especially when it comes to Kickstarters. You can offer all the incentives that you want, like air freshener, car air, T-shirts, limited edition prints, all this other stuff. If I'm not 100% confident that I'm going to get the book, all the bells and whistles go away. I want to know I don't want a car air freshener for a comic book that I never, that was never actually finished,
Right.
And knowing you is like, I had, when it came to the first Roadkill Rampage, it was just like, I know, Rodney, I know it's going to be, and then I know it's done. So it's like, bing, bang, boom. And yeah, like you said, for people who are not as close friends of you, or not as close of friends as to you as like we are, that know your reputation, now seeing your reputation be built from Roadkill Rampage 1 and knowing this man does deliver. And when 2 came around, not only does this man, we know he delivers, he's already delivered.
Yeah. With Peter Fatter as well.
Yes.
So because most of the people, they cross over, they've bought both from both campaigns. And those books were done, except for the lettering. So there you go. Yeah,
and I love the early bird specials.
Yes, those are fun. Those are nice.
I know I take advantage of those.
You know, Rich, looking at the age group that we're in right now, saying the words early bird special, I'm just imagining going to Bob's Big Boy, and it's like 2 o'clock. I'm here for the dinner special. But I gotta ask you, Rodney, because we'll talk about Pitter Patter. One of the things that I really admire about creators like you, one of the other people that I think of like this is our friend Allison Dickinson, where you and her are both able to completely jump genres from something nice and innocent and sweet to downright damn terrifying. You know what I mean? And then usually a lot of your creators kind of stay in one lane.
Yeah.
And when they try to cross over, it's like, oh, I'm gonna dip my toe in the horror book. It's like, not so good. But man, especially going from reading, I went from reading Roadkill Rampage first to reading Pitter Patter. It's amazing because your style and technique is there, but the genre is like a 180-degree flip, and it's just still so well done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to switch like that mentality from New Line Cinemas to Pixar?
Actually, no, I don't. It's for me, it's really easy. At the risk of sounding arrogant, it's easy because once again, I keep going back to the voices in my head, but they're always there. Whether it's the characters from Roadkill Rampage, or it's Buddy and Dude, or it's Peanut Pudding and Jelly, or it's the other characters, my Ruckus universe of characters, whatever it is, they're always there. So it's just a matter of walking out of one bedroom and into another and playing with those toys.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does that make me crazy?
Well, when it comes time to schedule, I don't know how to put it, creativity time, do you find that you have to, it's like, I need to work on Roadkill Rampage, I'm focusing on Roadkill Rampage, or do you find it easier to just kind of go with whatever voice happens to be talking to you at that moment?
Yeah, that's what we do. We call it the bounce. I think that's purposely why the two projects overlap each other, because I need variety. Because one day, Ace and Tess aren't talking to me. It's Buddy and Dude, or it's somebody else. And we have learned that I function better when I drop the one and pick up the one that's talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we call it the bounce, working on enough things to be able to bounce back and forth from one thing to another. If I'm supposed to be drawing and I'm not feeling it, nothing's coming out right, go color something. You have something that you have to be coloring as well. If that's not working, go write something. So there's always something in the mix, whether it's our stuff or whether it's stuff for somebody else, that is on the itinerary that I can bounce to. And we do that. We rather than trying to stay, now the exception being getting the script done for issue 3 of Roadkill Rampage, that needed to be done because that was kind of flailing out there for a couple weeks, and it kept getting sidetracked for other things, and it needed to get done. It was done for a month, but it wasn't done. So I sat down and finished it, and it took me probably 5 days longer than it should have took me. But I got it right, and it's done now. So.
Well, that's like when I do some work, I like doing digital. Then I flip to analog by using acrylic paint. It's like the two different worlds. You got to keep yourself spread apart a little bit just to keep it all balanced, is how I feel.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds counterintuitive because to a lot of people, especially those people that are like hyper focused, the idea of having, different things going on at the same time almost feels like a hindrance. But for creative people like you, it's actually more of a, it makes
helps.
things easier because you're not hyper focused on something and overthinking something, which usually ends up being detrimental to the creative process. But since you have, you're juggling different balls in the air, you can focus on this one, like you said, while the inspiration for this one over here is not really firing at the moment.
Right. And the good thing about that is, even though you're switching or you're bouncing, when I am on one particular thing, I am zero focus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the blinders are on and I shut the world out. And I don't make my posts on social media because I'm like I'm supposed to, because I'm focused on what I'm doing. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have the bounce, but that doesn't mean that you can't concentrate or you don't have that laser focus when you're working on what you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it works. It works for me anyway.
Well, like I said, going from reading Roadkill Rampage to Pitter Patter, which are two completely different genre of books, and both are well read, I can agree. I can attest to how well it works for you.
Well, thank you.
And speaking of Pitter Patter, I gotta ask you a question. I'm sorry, Richard. This has been bugging me for a while, and it's gonna sound like a hokey question, but I'm actually really curious about this.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of this TV show called Letterkenny.
Of what?
It's called Letterkenny.
Okay.
You can find it on Hulu. It's a Canadian comedy show.
Okay.
I was wondering, well, since you kind of answered my question because you weren't familiar with it, pitter patter is a common expression on the show. It's pitter patter, let's get at her. It's kind of their catchphrase for, let's get moving.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you had gotten any, not cross promotion, but especially since Pitter Patter is the name of your book and it's also the catchphrase, the way hashtags and everything worked. I was wondering if you'd inadvertently seen any kind of, melding or crossing over between those two.
No, not that I've noticed. Anytime I post anything on Pitter Patter, I haven't, unless I've just not noticed it, because I will usually go and read any comments or that people will make, and nothing's been mentioned about it. I didn't even know anything about it. I know where I got the name Pitter Patter, where it came from for me, and it wasn't that show. I don't know. I think I've told the story on here before, but our studio is in the basement. And when Tina and I first met, I was allergic to cats because I've never had pets growing up. So the cats weren't allowed down in the basement. And then, so I was in the basement all day working on stuff, and they were upstairs, and they would be running around, on the hardwood floors. And all day long, I would listen to the pitter patter of their little feet.
Uh-huh.
So that's where the idea came from, and the name Pitter Patter. And then, just listening to them and just laughing and cracking myself up. And then we talked about, we did a show in Lexington, and there was a girl sitting next to us, and she had these cute little plushies that she had made. And it was a vampire story. It was a story. She didn't even have a book. She had 6 pinups, 11 by 17 pinups. And she had basically an elevator pitch, and she sold the hell out of those 11 by 17 prints, and she sold all those plushies out. And we were talking about, we just need something cute and cuddly to sell. And I was tasked with the task of coming up with something cute and cuddly. So I sat down here on the couch and I got my loose leaf paper and I said, okay, we're going to do a couple of cats, and I just started drawing and drawing these heads of these faces of these cats. I was looking for them, and it took me probably 2 or 3 days And then I finally found them. I was going through all the pages and looking at all the faces. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I kind of like this one. I kind of like that one. And then I go and I'd redraw until I found the characters. And that's how we came up with Pitter Patter.
I really, the stories in issues 1 and 2 of Pitter Patter, especially the one, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I really like the one where, what was it? Buddy's telling the story about how he ventured out into the world.
Yeah.
I really liked that one because I really liked how it was from his point of view, and he was looking for his human.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't lost. The human was, his human was lost. I really like the perspective that you gave. That especially, the one I really liked the perspective that you use when you write Buddy and Dude. You know what I mean? It's they're not cats in the human world.
Right.
The humans are in their world.
Right. Exactly.
And
that's going to become more prevalent in the future. So I'll just tease you with that.
And I really think that you answered one of the age-old questions when it comes to cats about when they knock stuff off. The little game that the two played. I thought that was brilliant because now I can't see any kind of like viral videos of cats knocking stuff over without thinking, no, they're not being assholes. They're playing a game.
Yeah.
There's a cat in another room going, candy dish. Headphones,
Yep.
It's like, he's not going to get this one. He's like, salsa bottle. I really enjoyed that.
Well, the funny thing is my cat Sherman, the best cat in the world. He spends a lot of time in the sink in the bathroom, and every time you go in there, he runs in, hops up on the toilet, goes on the cabinet, and jumps into the sink. And he looks at you like, you're going to turn it on, right? So you turn it on, and he puts his head in there, and he lets the water roll back behind his ears, and he lets it drip down his back, and then he puts his paws in there and gets his paws wet, and then he takes a drink. So it's that. Again, I never had pets growing up, so this was all new to me. Standing there behind him and just watching him, for 5 minutes and just being completely enamored by, cats are supposed to hate water, but he's in his moment of zen right now. He's really enjoying this. I thought it was so cute and so precious that, that's where that scene came from, him sitting there washing his hair.
And I like stories like that because it also gives a perspective of, it's like you think you're training the cat, but from the cat's point of view, it's like, I've got my human trained so well. Watch, when I go up to the sink, he'll turn it on.
Exactly.
Oh, look how good I've trained him. Look how good I've trained my big human.
That's right. and he's, Dude, the gray cat, he's silly. Yeah. He is Mr. Silly. He's just a big goofball. And he's basically Sherman. So a lot of the stupid, goofy stuff that Sherman does, I just write it into what Dude does because he just cracks me up.
And he's so innocent and naive too.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's innocent and naive, but he's tenacious. And it's like two brothers. You can beat up on each other and you can call each other, but don't let anybody else do it because that's my brother.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how they are.
And I liked it too when Buddy became very protective of Dude when he was telling him the story about how he got out. Like, no.
Yeah.
You stay here. This is what happens when you go out there.
Yeah. The grass is not always greener.
Yeah.
Which is the underlying moral of that story.
Yeah. So any I don't want any spoilers, but I adored issue 1 and I adored issue 2. Any kind of idea where the future issues are going to be going, or are they going to be more like self-contained?
They're going to be self-contained stories, but they're going to the stories are going to progress. You're going to be able to read issues 1, 2, and 3, and they're gonna feel right chronologically 1 to 3. But you can pick up issue 3 and read it, and not have to read issues 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we have a backup story in issue 3 that Nate Lovett's done, and it's already done. It just has to be colored. And he just got it done so quick because he had some downtime, and we commissioned him to do that story. So that part of it's done, but it introduces a whole new cast of characters. And then in issue 3, we kind of flip it. There's a midway point in issue 3 where something happens that changes things. So I won't tell you exactly what, but yeah, you'll see.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to present it to people because it's gonna be fun. It's nothing really drastic, but it's kind of taking the handcuffs off of me and allowing me to write the way that I really want to write these characters. So if that gives you a hint as to what it's going to be. But yeah, it's I can't wait to get into it. It's going to be great.
So do you want to go over a little bit with the Kickstarter then?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and kick that off. If you want to play the video or whatever, that's cool.
Okay. I hope I did this right.
All right.
That was better than some of the movie trailers I've seen in the last 6 months. That was badass.
Well, you can thank producer B for that.
Honest to God, for anybody that's just listening to the show, we will make sure that we mention the link to that site. That was honestly one of the best trailers I've seen for anything, and it was for a comic book. That was awesome.
Well, thank you very much. Producer B, we'll appreciate it. She had some help. So yeah.
I found somebody with jazz hands.
She found somebody with jazz hands to help jazz it up.
So you're totally funded and like almost double it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And with 19 days to go, we are full of gratitude, and it is a blessing. So thanks to everybody who has backed it so far. So yeah, let's check out what we have there.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the different tiers for the Kickstarter that you have.
Well, let's see. We have some variant covers we've got available. We have 4 different variant covers. Sean Forney comes back with a variant cover for issue 2, just like he did with issue 1. And we have Andre Ausch, who is really big in the Marvel sketch cards arena. And this is his first cover that he's ever done. So we were lucky enough to have it be something of ours for him to do. And then obviously Sean Langley's alpha cover is the actual cover. And then we have the Steph Wilson cover. That there is a naughty version and a nice version of that.
Oh, that's the one up here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to jump into that pool because it why not?
Oh,
There's
wow.
some of the interior pages.
Yeah, those look nice.
Thank you. That is Sean Langley on the interior artwork.
Oh, there's the rewards. I'm sorry, I didn't scroll far enough down. You should have said that.
That's okay. Yeah, and we actually got Amon Hill to come back and do a cover for us. That was the 48-hour limited edition for the first 48 hours.
Yay, that's what I got.
And we've got Sean's. Excuse me. And then Andre Alsh is there. That's a painted cover. He's a very talented man, residing from Toronto, Canada, by way of Romania. He's from Romania.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
there's those covers, right?
Yeah, the naughty and nice covers. There's a trade dress version. There's a naughty and nice versions, and then there's the trade dress versions, and there's the virgin covers. We have a sketch cover version available there, and yeah, so you can get one of those and see me at a show, and I can do something for you, or you can get whoever you want to draw something. Then we've got the commissions from Sean Langley and myself. We've actually each sold a couple of commissions so far. So that's a pretty good price on the commissions for that size commission.
Yeah.
It's a good price.
I gotta ask, what's it like for you, Rodney, when you have somebody like Sean and Ramon do covers? What's it like for you? Like here's my baby. Do with it what you will, and then seeing that end product.
I think it's awesome because one thing that I've learned from being a Star Wars fan is that Lucas taught me this, is once you create it and put it out there in the world, it's no longer yours.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs to the fans. So I love seeing the different versions of Roadkill Rampage, the different artist renditions of everything. And it's just in my head, what Eamon did there on his pinup is kind of what I see in my head. But the other versions are equally as great, for whatever reason. They're just, I love Sean Forney's artwork. I love Sean Langley's artwork. Steph's stuff is amazing. He has his own little army of people that buy anything he does. And Andre's such a good friend, and his artwork is amazing. And not a lot of people know about him right now, but that's going to change.
Yeah.
So we're very happy and pleased to be able to offer a cover by him. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's really cool to see. Like I always talk about when I get the pages, it's kind of like, because these are, I don't have any kids, so these characters are my babies. Mm-hmm. And when I get pages and I see it for the first time, it's like, okay, this is what was in my head, and it's it's a unique feeling. It's something that it's unique to the world of creativity, and it's really awesome. And then getting the book and holding the book in your hand, and that sense of accomplishment, and knowing that, hey, this one's done, we can go on to the next one, and you start building that catalog of books. That's when we're at shows and I go to the bathroom and I come back and I'm walking up to the booth and I look at the booth and I realize all of the hard work and all of the blood, sweat, and tears and all the arguments and all the fights and all of everything that goes into doing what we do. It's pretty awe-inspiring to think that that's all us. Everything on that table is us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, you can't buy it. You can't trade it. You can only achieve it. You know, so for me anyway, it's just, I mean, that's why I've been doing this as long as I've been doing it. I don't know what else to do with myself.
I can
My
only
brain just
imagine.
won't shut down.
I can only imagine because I really can't even imagine, like when you're at your table, you're sitting behind your table with everything behind you. I assume you've never taken it for granted, but like you said, when you take a moment to step away from the table and see it from the spectator's point of view, the customers, the con goers' point of view, it must be a little awe-inspiring. Like this is my work. This is me. This is everything I put into it.
Yeah, and it's not I and it's not me. It's we.
Yeah.
Because none of it would be possible if we are a team. You know, Tina doesn't get a lot of credit, but Tina does so much. But yeah, we are definitely the team supreme. So it makes me feel good. And people that we know, like people from my younger days, when they come and they see us, people that I knew that I hung out with in my 20s and 30s, that I've reconnected with on Facebook, and they come to the show and they walk up to the table and they do that whoa, and they look and they're like, wow, man, you know, you can see it in their face. They're like floored at everything there. And I know that feeling because that's the feeling I get when I walk up and go, damn, I drew all of this or I wrote all of this, you know. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
And you most certainly deserve that moment of setting aside being the great humble person you are. You've more than earned that moment to go, shit, yeah. Yes, look at what we've done.
But you know what's funny is in doing that, my mind always goes, we can't wait till we get this out there, and we can't wait till we get that. You're always one project ahead in your mind.
So you got the website too, Hazzum.com, correct?
Yeah, and all the books are available there. So you go check that out. There's a list of the talent on there.
I just want to make sure I had the link right. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm a bad producer tonight. I had so much going on today. I just threw this together about 15 minutes before we went on the air.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I did a charity auction earlier today, so I've been on my feet all day doing this video stream for a charity auction for the United Way of our local area. So I'm kind of tired.
I got you. I believe me, I understand. I understand. It's all good.
But we want to make sure the audience, so we'll make sure we share all the links. I know on the promo I had the link for the Kickstarter, so if you want to go right there right now, you can find that, and I will make sure they're all out there after we're done with the show.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I got to ask you, Rodney, because I know we talked about it the last time you were on the show, and we was talking about Kickstarter. Man, you are rocking the Kickstarter. You are a veteran at the Kickstarter now. That you've come a long way, because I remember when you the last time we talked, when you first started doing a Kickstarter, it could feel a little overwhelming. You know, you didn't know what all to do and what all to put out there, but after seeing this last one, man, you were rocking it.
Yeah, that's again, that's all producer B. I mean, honestly, guys, she puts them together. She runs them. I offer suggestions, but that's her end of it. She's the business end of it. And God bless Sean and Stephanie Forney, you know, because during the pandemic, we worked together, you know, so much on the Power Ninja Tunes project and on, a bunch of stuff together, and doing the podcast on Thursdays and Friday nights. And, they've become like a unit, you know, and Sean and Stephanie are 7 Kickstarters in, and we were joking about trading off Kickstarters, you know, because We did issue 1 of Roadkill Rampage. They did Scarlet Huntress. We did the Pitter Patter. They did the Cryptids book. And, we're doing this one, and they're going to launch in January, their next one. And it's just, it's back and forth. Yeah, we just joke about trading them back and forth.
And that's good because it's like friendly motivation where it's just like, Rodney, we need you to get your next project out because we can't do it ours until you've done yours. We can't break the cycle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's a friendly competition. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We love making fun of each other, so that's even better.
And it's good to see that you guys are still doing the sketch offs too. Those are always entertaining and fun to watch.
Well, we're not doing sketch offs anymore. We're basically just working on commissions and or doing pieces just to sell. Because the sketch offs just kind of ran its course. And we just got so busy and so inundated with work that, we wanted to use that time to be productive on stuff that needed to get done. So that's what we've kind of migrated to doing that, and that's not to say that, we'll never go back and do a sketch off again. But right now that's because I don't want people tuning in expecting a sketch off.
Right.
We're not doing that right now. So, but we are still drawing. We're working on commissions, and we're, talking nerdy for an hour and a half.
And it is fun, even though you're not doing the sketch off, you're doing the commission work. Because a lot of times it's fascinating to watch, like both of you guys work. And even when we go to a comic book convention and you're working on a commission, you hate having that real life head over your shoulder, like, oh, what are you doing? What are you working on? But people like watching that process and like seeing the creativity flow and watching you be able to do those works and those commissions. And still having that friendly banter is so much fun.
Yeah, and I mean, and we do that at shows too, because we know that brings people to the table. They see that you're drawing, and they want to come up and see what you're working on. So yeah, it's all part of the plot, part of the plan.
Well, we always came up behind you guys and always filmed all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been doing that for years.
a lot of people are intimidated by that kind of stuff. And when we first started going back out and I was drawing at shows, it took probably 5 or 6 shows for me to get used to it. But God, that was 12 years ago. Now it's like, oh, hey, Richard, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. You okay? You need me to tilt the board some? What do you need, buddy? So yeah,
we always snuck up behind you, didn't we? Me and Peanut always had that, stealthiness to go up behind you.
Oh yeah, and that's good. I mean, we know each other enough, and we're good enough friends where you knew that was okay, and you guys have a job to do too, and I knew that you guys are doing your job. So yeah, it's all good.
The awkward moments of silence.
Oh, I saw you. I thought you were getting ready to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because it's about time to wrap everything up. Rodney or Richard, can you let everybody know that who's watching or listening where they can find everything for your Kickstarter at?
Okay, we are, as far as me personally, well, all the links should be up there in the comment section. You go to, you can find me on Instagram at Rodney_Fyke. You can find me on Facebook at Rodney Fyke Art. You can find me at Twitch, Rodney Fyke on Twitch. Obviously the Hazzum channel, the YouTube channel, and Thursdays and Friday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern. We have Thursday Night Throwdown and Friday Night Draw with Sean Forney every week, and various other podcasts that I am scheduled to do, promoting Roadkill Rampage 2. It's like I'm going from here to another show, right after this. So we'll be on Blastcast with Russell Allen.
Oh, right on. You got the whole press junket thing going on.
Yeah, it's the Pitter Patter World Tour. Roadkill Rampage World Tour. Hey, there's Steph Wilson right there. How we doing, Steph? See, he's telling me to stay in my cubicle.
Oh man, that's awesome. So Rodney, thank you for taking the time to stop by. We love having you, love seeing you. I was so happy I got a chance to see you in Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
Really can't wait to read Roadkill Rampage 2. It's always just a delight to see you. I absolutely adore you and producer B, who I know you're listening. Love you too. Oh, so Richard, if you would kindly, we're hitting the 9 o'clock mark. Oh, first of all, hey, happy Halloween, you guys.
Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween.
That one snuck up.
Yes, it did.
Because it was like 90 degrees. It felt like it was 90 degrees 2 days ago, and it's like, it's Halloween? What?
Where's my jacket? It's cold out.
I know. I'm still wrapping my head around it being 2021, and it's already Halloween.
It's almost 22.
I know. God, Lord Almighty. So, Richard, if you would kindly let everybody know where they can find all of our links and everything, and where we can link over to Rodney's stuff at.
Yeah, we're at undergroundvideonetwork.com. Just go there. That's our main hub, to our website that has all the links to all our socials and has the video archive of the last almost 19 years of video that we've been doing. So go see a video. Rodney's been on several episodes. You can see previous ones for the last few years, and that's the best place to find everything for us.
So, on behalf of Richard Catterjohn and myself, Mike Borf, we hope everybody is staying safe and staying healthy. And we hope to see you. And Rodney, we hope to see you at a con real soon. So if you would, Richard, kindly, please.